Hello, I'm Jack, and I'm going to be your guide on the next section of the Welsh coastal path. So we're going to go from Barry to Cardiff. It's a 2-day trip and going to stay at Penarth overnight and then use the trains to get backwards and forwards. So we kick off looking back where we've come from and get to the Nap, which overlooks Barry Island. This is where we walked from, all the way along the top of this cliff here, then got lost on the housing estate before coming down to the Nap. On the other side, a little folly, and then we were lucky the tide was out, which meant we could walk across the beach rather than go all the way around the bridge. You get to this breakwater, up onto the point to Friar's Point, which gives you a view backwards to where we've come from and a view forwards. You can start to see the sandy bays. First thing you notice about Barry Island, it's got wonderful sandy beaches. The other thing it's known for, Gavin and Stacey. If you haven't seen it on the BBC, you really should. Excellent, very funny. And you can see on this map here that it's also got a big funfair for all the holiday makers. It's not really a thing of beauty. You can see it from the beach, and the beach is what I was interested in as I walked around the island. This guy wants mackerel, and they've done a good job on the promenade. I think it's very attractive. Looking back along that long sandy beach, on the point you're starting to get to gun points and coast guards. At the point of Barry Island, this is Jackson's Bay. Going towards the docks, I think you can just about see a tall ship is in there. And then there's chemical works. And you go out past this lighthouse and you can see Sully Island, and that's where I need to get to. Might catch a train to get there. There's a long walk past the docks. Walking into the bay, the thing you really notice are the cliffs. I think white chalk, that's chalk, and red, that's iron, isn't it? I can't work it out more than that. Then walking through the middle of Barry Island, past the Funfair, lots of old and new buildings, new shopping centres, old warehouses. Good to see a pump house for the docks there. And you can see that the docks must have been pretty amazing once when all coal was being taken out. There's Barry Old Island. Then I did catch the bus all the way through because it's just docks and chemical works, which is not very attractive. Took the bus to Sully and then looked back. You can see the docks and then looking forwards over the rocky beach to Sully Island. This is the path, the Welsh coastal path. Lots of modern houses being built overlooking the sea. Just a few people on the beach. And you can see here the flat home and lots deep home of the islands. You had to go round lots of caravan parks. I went along the beach for this section, which is quite tough going. You can see the islands there starting to come. And this is Sully Island. Look, the tide's coming in fast. There are a few old farmhouses left. This is getting right the way towards the point. Another gum placement with a few lads listening to loud rap music. Had to walk up through the countryside to go around yet another caravan park, and this was a pretty mighty gum placement here. An old church with a wonderful placard celebrating Marconi's transmitting across water. We've now got to the point. You can look round the point and the welcome sight of Penarth Pier and its beacon, getting a better view now of Cardiff docks in all its beauty. And I was pretty pooped by now, so ice cream, a Coke, 30,000 steps, that'll do me for the day. Stayed in the hotel right next door to the railway station, looked wacky, had a fantastic beer and pizza, and in the morning a lovely breakfast before setting off again. And my destination now is Cardiff, the capital of Wales. Penarth to Cardiff is like the Mumbles to Swansea. Penarth, very pleasant place, through the park down to the pier. Beautiful, lovely old pier with white kind of weathered planks. Somebody had done something amazing swimming. Looking back, you can see it's a prosperous town. That's all the way from Barry that I've been to. And I was delighted to see the Balmoral Boat, because the Balmoral Boat used to go into Swansea a lot, and I think it had a little bit of an accident, but it's still going up and down this part of the Bristol Channel. Fine sight. I had to walk up and over those cliffs. You can look down, back to the pier, and at the very top, there's a church on a very promontory, getting closer and closer to those docks. Still a few old houses. So look at this old Welsh farmhouse. I think this is a school here. Zooming in here on the Millennium Stadium, or Cardiff Arms Park as I used to know it. a few modern things, but you've also got this wonderful old customs house, which is now a restaurant, and I hope they do as good a restoration job on this fine old building as well, because the two together make a lovely pair. You're starting to get into Cardiff Bay, and it's got a barrage to keep the water up at high tide, a bit like Swansea. Swansea's just got it over the river. This is a big old thing, reminds me of the Thames Barrier. Delighted to see the Balmoral steaming by, and then into these mighty locks. Looking back, you can see that church I went up to in Penarth. Looking forwards, it's a big bay, but it's not a very beautiful bay. It's got this juxtaposition of tourism and industry. You can't get away from the old oil storage tanks. There's loads of canals. It seems to me a lot of money has been spent on Cardiff, but it hasn't got the magnificent sweep of Swansea Bay. Fine old monuments as you get towards the centre for shipping and for peace. And you can see a lot of money's been spent on these fine buildings here. I think this is a church. It might be a town hall. This is the Welsh Assembly building, looking very good. And this is, rather than having an opera house, we had a concert hall. And it's a beautiful, beautiful building in the capital of Wales. The next station is Cardiff to Newport. I hope you'll join me for that. But in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this, please like and please subscribe. It means a lot to an old boy. That's it for me. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.